A very good evening and good morning to all the participants. We're going to start today's session. In today's session, we're going to start with data store objects. So we'll start discussing about a data store object. So first of all, what is ADSO? ADSO stands for Advanced Data Store Object. Excuse me. Advanced Data Store Objects. So first of all, what is a DSO? A DSO stands for Data Store Objects. So what is the purpose of a DSO? A purpose of a DSO is to see data in a detailed fashion. So whenever you would like to see data in a very detailed fashion in terms of line items, then we can go for a DSO, which is called as data store object. Now these DSO are of three types. One is called as standard DSO. The second one is known as write optimized DSO. And third one is known as direct update DSO. So basically there are three types of DSO: standard DSO, write optimized DSO, and direct update DSO. Now what is the purpose of each DSO? Write optimized DSOs are used to faster loading of data. First of all, what is the difference between an open ODS view and an advanced DSO? Open ODS views is just a view. It never stored data. But a standard DSO can physically store data. It can physically store data. So basically the data is stored inside SAP HANA for an advanced DSO. But for an open ODS view, it always access on the fly, on demand from source system. So I'm going to demonstrate an exercise on how to create an ADSO, advanced DSO, and physically load data into ADSO, advanced DSOs. So let us go back. So let me close it. Let me close everything. So excuse me. I'll expand the BW repository. So let us go to info. So here you have the project. So here first we have the project. So let me right click on the project, click new, and click on data store object advanced. Participants okay? No participants able to see? So here you have the BW repository. So just right click on the project, click new, and click on advanced data store object. So let us give the name. So what I'm going to do is, let us give a name for the DSO, ZBBP 10. Provide the description. So let us select the data source. And once you select the data source, so let us give the name ZDS BW and provide the source system. click browse and enter T90 CLNT 090. Just I'm trying to search for the source system. One minute, just I'm trying to search for the source system. Let me select the source system T90 CLNT 090 and click OK. So this is nothing but the source of data. So here, this is the source, and click browse. So I can search for a data source, which is ZDS BW. ZDS BW. So this is the data source, and click OK. So once you click OK, so this is the name of the data source, and here you have the source system, and click finish. So once you click finish, now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to generate an advanced DSO. So this advanced DSO that I'm going to create is based on, so here you have standard DSO and right optimized DSO. So I'll select right optimized DSO. And also when I'm generating this DSO, it can create a HANA view automatically, and a HANA view can automatically get created. So I'm selecting this and click on details pane. So wherein here you can see, now these are all the columns of the DSO. And finally click on activate. Once you click on activate, so I'm just trying to activate the object. So once you click on activate, it's generating the DSO. This is done. So finally, now here we create an advanced DSO. Once you create this advanced DSO, so expand this data store object, and here you can see the DSO over here. Let us right click on this, click new, and click on transformations. So once you click on transformation, now this is the target object. So here you have the target, and here you have the source. So let me select this source as data source, and let us give the source system as T90 CLNT090. So the only difference here that you can see from the previous one, OpenODS views can access data on the fly, but here we can physically load data. So to load data, what I'm trying to do, 1 minute participants, I'm just trying to find the source. So let us give the data source name. Data source name is so let us give the data source name ZDS BW. So this is the data source name, and here you have the source system and click continue. DSO_DS and click continue. So once you click continue, now it is creating a transformation. Now here you can see, here you can find the data source, and here you have the advanced DSO. So until now what we have done here is, we created an advanced DSO and we link this advanced DSO to a data source. Now where is this data source coming from? This data source is coming from SAP system. Now what SAP system? What is the name of the SAP system? T90 CLNT090. So this is the source system. This is the name of the SAP system. So I'm accessing, so what is the name of this data source? The name of this data source is this. The name of the data source is getDSO_DS. So this is the name of the data source. And what is the target? What is the name of the target? TC participants, this is the getBBP10 is the target. So this is our target. getBBP10 is the target, and this is the data source name. Now what is the next thing that we do? So the data is over here. The data is inside the data source. Now we need to bridge the source. We need to bridge this source. So this is our source, and here we have the target. In order to bridge, or in order to map source to target, what we need to do? We need to create a transformation. We need to create a transformation. So what is transformation? So a transformation is nothing but an object that can bridge source system to target system. So we need to create, we need to create a transformation. Now this transformation can link source. This transformation can link source to target. So let us go create a transformation. So I'm just creating a transformation. Now this is nothing but the transformation over here. Please see, this is the transformation. So this is called as transformation. And finally what we need to do, click activate and click continue. So once I continue, now it is trying to bridge source and target. So now the transformation is active. Now please see, participants. Once I right click on advanced DSO, click refresh. Once you refresh, please see, expand. So here expand, and here you find the transformation. Now we have the source, we have the target. Now finally we need to transfer the data from data source to target. So how can you transfer data from data source to target? By using DTP. We can use DTP. What is DTP? DTP is nothing but it is the process to transfer data from SAP to BW4 HANA. So how can we create DTPs? Please see, participants. So let us go back. Let us right click on this transformation, click new, and click on data transfer process. So I hope all the participants are able to understand until here. I hope all the participants are with me. Any participants not able to follow? I hope all the participants able to follow. Thank you. So what we need to do, so I'm creating a DTP. So what is a DTP? A DTP is an object that can physically transfer data from source system to target system. DTP is nothing but the physical objects that can transfer data from source to target. So click on DTP. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm creating a DTP now, data transfer process. So this is the source. The source of a DTP is data source and target is DSO. And click continue. So once I click continue, now please see participants, once I click continue, click activate. So what I'm trying to do, I'm activating the DTP. So participants, what is step number one? Step number one is to create a data source. Step number two is to create an advanced DSO. Step number three is to create a transformation. Transformation will bridge source to target. So step number one is to create a data source. Step number two is to create an advanced DSO. Step number three is to create a transformation. Transformation will bridge source to target. And step number four is to create a DTP. A DTP is nothing but data transfer process. It is the process to transfer data. It is the process to transfer data. So using a DTP, what you can do, whatever the data that you have here, you can transfer to target. Now let us go back. Now here you have the DTP, data transfer process. Click execute. And finally, click on execute. Click execute and execute. So once you click execute, click yes. And once you click yes, now please see, now it is going to transfer data. Click refresh. Participants, click refresh. Now once you click refresh, now how many records are transferred? About 15,333 data records are transferred. Now what I can do now, on top of this, excuse me, and on top of this advanced DSO, I can create a query. So how can I create a query? Now this query is based on HANA Eclipse environment. So in order to create a query, what we can do is click on new, click on query, and let me provide the info provider name. So what is the info provider name? ZBBP10. ZBBP10. Provide the name for the query. Provide the name for the query and click finish. So once I click finish, now I'm trying to create a query. Now what is the purpose of a query? The query will access data from advanced DSO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on sheet definition and then add sales document, and then let us also take sales organization, distribution channels, and let us add NETWR, net value of the sales document. This I'm trying to find. This I'm trying to find the measure. One minute, but I'm just trying to search some measures. Okay, just I'm trying to add a key figure. Let me search. So here you have net value of the sales document and click OK. So once you click OK, so here you have the measures and here you have the attributes. And finally, what I'll do is I'll click to activate this query. Let me save. Let us save this object. So I just save this object. So here we need to save. And finally, what we need to do is, now please see participants, once I click on the analytics list, now please see initially the query will be empty because we haven't loaded data into the query. Please see the query is still empty. BBP is empty because we haven't executed the DTP. So only once I execute this DTP, so what DTP will do, once I execute this DTP, it will go to the source, get data from data source, and this data will transfer to ADSO. From ADSO, it will access to the query. Please see, let us go back. I hope all the participants are able to follow. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the DTP. So let us check data. So click on manage DTP. 1 minute participants. Click on administer target. So here I'm not able to see any request. Let me execute the DTP once again. Just I'm trying to, so here you can see, let me access few columns over here. Sales office, sales documents, SD document. So here you can see all the sales documents, sales organization. So once I execute the DTP, the data gets transferred to target. Okay, participants. So what I'm trying to show you here is, I'm just trying to recap once again. So in this exercise, the first thing that we have done is we created a data source on the SAP system. That is step number 1. Step number 2, we created an advanced DSO. Step number 3, we created a transformation. Transformation is an object that can map source to target. Step number 4, we created a DTP. A DTP stands for data transfer process, where it can transfer data from source to target. So basically, an advanced DSO is an object that can physically store data, whereas an open ODS view can access data on the fly. Okay, participants. What is a composite provider? Composite providers are used to compose info providers. Now, what is an info provider? Info providers are objects that can provide information to the business user. So basically, info providers are nothing but they provide information to business users. Now, what this composite provider does is you can combine different kinds of information providers inside a composite provider. For example, you could take two calculation views, one calculation view for actual, another calculation view for plan, and you can combine both of them inside one composite provider. Now, you know, when we are working on a calculation view, there are different operators. Like you have an operator called join, you have another operator called union. Now, even inside a calculation view, you have operators like join or union. Now, even inside a composite provider, we have join and union. Means, what does it mean? It means that both calculation views and composite providers does the same functionality. But what is the key difference? The difference is calculation views are built at native HANA. They're built at native HANA, whereas composite providers are created in BW4 HANA. Both does the same functionality, but different use cases. So calculation views are built at native HANA, and whereas a composite provider is built at BW4 HANA. Now why? Because calculation views cannot be created for BW4 HANA. So let's say here you have SAP system. And then here you have SAP HANA. On top of SAP HANA, we have BW4 HANA. So here we have BW4 HANA. Now, so what I'm trying to say is, now here you have a calculation view that gives a real-time information about financial data. Now what I can do, I can use this calculation view inside a composite provider. At the same time, we can also use an advanced DSO. We can use an ADSO, which is built in BW4 HANA inside a composite provider that gives information about outstanding payments. So all the history related data is in ADSO, and all the real-time information is coming from SAP HANA. Now what I can do, by combining both this ADSO and calculation view inside a composite provider, I can get information about the outstanding payments of the customer. So this is one business use case. So like this, you have umpteen examples in the standard BI content that is provided by SAP. SAP provides a rich BI content wherein you can see these kind of examples. I'll show you in the next topic. So probably in tomorrow's session, I'll show you BA content, but for now, just I would like to move on with composite provider. So now how can I get data from SAP to SAP HANA? By using landscape transformation, SLT. So now I'm getting this real-time financial data from SAP using SLT to SAP HANA. On top of this, I'm creating a calculation view. In BW4 HANA, I'm creating an ADSO. And both of this, I'm trying to do a union. What are we trying to do? We're trying to do union in a composite provider and finally exposing to the business user. Okay, participants. So can I go ahead and create this scenario? I'll just try to go ahead and create. Here you find BW repository and data sources. Now, let us expand BW repository. So here you have a project called project B4H. Expand this project. So let us right click on the project. Click new. Click on the composite provider. Let us give a name. So I'll give a name as JetCP009. 1 minute, participants. JetCP009 and click next. Sorry, it's already there. So I'll just take it as 91 and click next. And here we need to do the union of info providers. Click add. So here you see there are two things. One is info provider as well as SAP HANA. Select SAP HANA and try to find for this data source. Now what I'm going to do here is, now please see participants, so here you have SAP HANA. So what I'm trying to say here is, either you can take an info provider or you can take SAP HANA view. Now what I'll do is, let us create two SAP HANA views. After I create those views, I'm going to access them over here. Now let me show you already the created ones. So I'll just search for JED COPA. I'll try to just search. So I'm just trying to use some analytic views. Yes, I'm trying to use some analytic views. 1 minute, participants. Because I really don't know which are working, but just I'll try randomly. So let us take this. So here you have an copa underscore an actual underscore copa, and then here you have an plan underscore copa. So I'll select. Let us select both of this and click OK. Now once you click OK, so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do union of both these info providers, and finally click finish. So once you click finish, I'm not sure whether they have data, but just I'm trying to click on scenario pane. And once you click on scenario pane, please see, participants. Now here, this is the scenario pane. Here you have the source and here we have the target. So I'll expand analytic view. So these are the attributes and measures that you have inside this. Now what I'll do is I'll right click on this analytic view. So I'll just select both of them. Right click on this. Sorry, I'll select this one and click on create assignments. So now it added everything to the target. So all the attributes and measures are added to the target. Now even I will right click on this and click on create assignments. So now both the mapping is done. So here you have BUKRS. Now BUKRS is getting mapped to actual as well as plan. BU text is getting mapped to actual as well as plan. So here you have measures. And finally, what I'm going to do here is I'll click on validate. I'll click on validate and click on save and activate. Let me. I think this analytic views are not active in the backend. I'll just try to add any other analytic views. So I'll take both of these. I'll take both of these analytic views. These both analytic views are active, so I'll just try to take both of them because I know that these analytic views are active. So I'm just trying to select this column. So here I'm selecting KUNNR. I'm selecting the KUNNR, BUKRS, VV010, VV01001, and VV070. So once I selected all the required columns, so here I'm selecting all the required columns. So once you select all the required columns, so I'm just trying to map. So KNR to KNR, BUKRS to BUKRS, VV010, VV01001, and VV070. And finally, click on Activate. So once you click on Activate, the composite provider got activated. Now once the composite provider is active, so here you can see Jet CP0091, expand the composite provider. So here you can see this Jet CP0091 is a composite provider. Let us click on Analytics List. So once you click on Analytics List, click Close. And now, so here you can see the measures. The measures are being displayed. So let me click on BUKRS. So once you click on BUKRS, so here you can see based on different company codes. So here, so once you click on BUKRS, so here it displays the company code. So what are the different company codes? VV010 and VV010001. Now, if you basically click on this info provider, now the info provider will give what measures are coming from what analytic view. So this is one info provider where the data is getting from actual, and then you have another info provider getting data from plan. So what I'm trying to show participants, I'm trying to show how we can use composite providers. What is the usage of the composite providers? Composite providers are used to do union or join. You can do either a union or a join between two info providers. Composite providers are created within BW4 HANA, whereas calculation views are created at SAP HANA. So now what I would like to show is, until now we see exercises that are related to OpenODS view, accessing SAP HANA table to BW4 HANA. We also did see yesterday how to create an advanced DSO. And today, so basically, I'm trying to show composite provider. Now, what is the difference between an OpenODS view, advanced DSO, and composite provider? So let me explain differences between these three objects and when to use what object. Let us see this. So when do we go for an open ODS view? And when should we go for when should we go for open ODS view? When should we go for advanced DSO? And then when should we go for composite provider? So what is the difference between these three objects? Let us discuss. Open ODS views is nothing but a view that can access data on the fly. On demand it can access. It never stored data. It can access data from SAP HANA systems. It can directly access table from SAP HANA. It can access data from BW4 HANA. It can access data from SAP systems in the form of data sources. ADSOs physically store data. So advanced DSOs physically store data. They store data inside the BW4 HANA system. ADSOs are of three types: standard, write optimized, corporate DSO. So there are different kinds of DSOs. So an ADSO can physically store data inside SAP BW4 HANA. Composite providers, on the other hand, can do unions or joins. So composite provider is nothing but it can do both union or joins between different info providers. A composite provider can do union or a join between different info providers. ADSOs, advanced DSOs, can physically store data. Open ODS views are also known as field-based DSOs. So why it is called field-based DSOs? Because based on the structure of the source, so whatever the structure that the source system has, it uses the same structure to create an open ODS view. To see the assignment for today's session, go to Dropbox Set2 folder. Go to Set2 assignments. Open BW4 HANA. Here you can find the assignments for implementing advanced data store object, implementing the composite provider, union operator and join operator, then info provider. Let me open the assignments. Here I've explained each and every step very clearly. Like, right click on the info area, click on new, click on data store object, provide the name and description, click on browse, select an item and click on OK. Again click on browse. Like this I've given all the steps in these assignments. Thank you all the participants. See you in the next session.